Something I've always personally struggled with is trying to introduce a topic. One of the things that they teach you in writing or in like any level of schooling, English classes, writing classes, whatever, is that you need to have a strong introduction because that's how you hook people in. But I think that I have always been lacking in this aspect. I think that I can work well if I'm given something that people want to, right? I think that I can be energetic. At the very least, I play things out energetically in my head. But I'm not, and I think that part of that is why I'm not very successful as a creator. That and a lack of effort. In order to be successful in this, you gotta put in a lot of effort. And I think I've always just put half efforts into everything that I do. It's probably the gifted kid mentality. I grew up as a gifted kid, and well, so-called gifted kid. I was called one of those. I would like be one of the top of my classes in math without any effort whatsoever. I was in all the advanced classes. I did really well in them. I was like, you got out through a bunch of things with little to no effort. And I think that and I was also very good at video games. Let's go with that. So I think that kind of ruined things for me a little bit because now when I start something new, right, it's like if I'm not instantly like decent at it or show some sign of talent or show some chance of progression, then I just can't do it. Like I've been trying to learn Japanese for a while for probably the past 3 months now. I made some progress, yeah, for sure, but it's still intensely demotivating, like feeling really bad and stupid about something. And if there's one thing that I wish I learned as a kid, it was that how to suck at things and be okay with sucking at them. There are so many skills which I picked up, which I've ultimately kind of just, or I could have picked up, which I ultimately just didn't do anything with, right? And one of those things is drawing. I think that I could have been pretty good at drawing, but I was like, I could like trace stuff really well. I know that doesn't mean shit, but it means that I could do lines and stuff like that. Or at the very least, learn potentially how to do it free-handed. But I just never did it because I was like, oh, I could do it like really well when I was like tracing something. But when I try to go like freehand or like look at a reference, it's less good, but it's still okay. But then when I just try to do things from my memory, it's just nothing comes out the way I want it to. I think that's something that a lot of people who want to get into art struggle with, and something that people have to do a lot in order to get good at it. You have to be very knowledgeable about that stuff. And I ultimately just didn't do that, right? So I guess what I would say is that being a gifted kid kind of ruined me. But I think it was also kind of presumptuous to blame my faults on that. Faults are just not just temporary. That's not the right word. Faults are something that you can change and improve on. Faults are something that you can like work out. But if I'm bad at working out those faults, then I don't want to. I'll just ignore them until it becomes impossible to ignore. And that's just a bad habit I've always had. I want to be a like very self-starting person. Whenever I see someone who's like a workaholic or like basically a workaholic, all I could think is that, wow, I wish I was addicted to productivity instead of being addicted to like, I don't know, like fucking video games. I don't know. I think that something that's awoken this from me is that today I have had a lot of free time because you know how it is with COVID and everything and all that stuff. But I'm just not doing anything because, well, I don't know. That's the thing. I might be some like decision paralysis or something like that. But like I did my Japanese studying for the day, and then I just sat in that chair that's right next to me where I'm recording this, and I just sort of just sat there doing nothing. I didn't even watch like YouTube videos or anything meaningful. I just tried to find something to do, and I couldn't. I told myself I would get up and like record something on this, and eventually I did because my body was just succumbed to boredom so much. But talking this much in this like posture or anything is like very difficult for me. Because I never practiced that. I've been streaming on and off for about 4.5 years at this point. Jesus fucking Christ. And I've felt like I could have taken off maybe, but I always felt like I was not very good at it. And this kind of brings back to the gifted kid thing, is that if I learned how to accept not being good at something and then pursue to be good at it anyways, maybe I would still stream. Maybe I would stream actively. Maybe I'd be more successful. But it's not a maybe, it's a now. In 2020, I got into VTubers like a lot of other people did, especially Hololive. In fact, my desktop background is art that my Ina niece of Hololive English Shrew. You just call her Ina because I'm just gonna call her Ina. And when I look at like someone like her or someone in like the VTuber scene, it just makes me kind of upset with myself more that I'm not doing more. And I thought to myself that, hey, maybe I want to become like a VTuber or something like that. That'd be cool. But I think that in order to do that, I need to hone my talents and stuff like that. But then I looked at myself and like, what are my talents? I guess I can like make good level design in like games, stuff like that. I guess I have like an okay singing voice, though I never practiced singing ever. I guess I have like improv background, and people do think I'm funny, even if my humor is like very dry and stuff like that. I'd love to be like a person who's like quick on my feet and like can make crack jokes and stuff like that, or at the very least be someone who people can feel that they can confide in. But no, I don't really have many friends, honestly. It's not because I'm like lonely or I don't have the opportunity. It's just that I'm not very good at making friends. I think it ties back to the gifted kid thing. Where if I don't like instantly hit it off with a person, I just kind of don't care. I don't do that. When I tried like dating apps and stuff like that, and I think that kind of made me realize that is that I have matched with people because like people see me, they probably like what I say and all that stuff, and we match and all that. But I can't hold the conversation. They can't hold it either. So why should I try and make something like that work if it's just going to be endlessly awkward for like 5 hours of communicating? Is it really worth the effort? And I'm starting to think that the answer is yes, but that I need to be that person that can make others comfortable. And I can't do that unless I'm comfortable with who I am myself. And so when I go back to like that VTuber stuff, it's honestly fairly insignificant in the scheme of things. I think it's just a general longing to be someone who's both more talented, who's crafted multiple talents through hard work and time, and someone who, how do I say this? Someone who can speak off the cuff for like an hour without doing anything, someone that can make people feel welcome, someone who can entertain others. And like I said, the gifted kid thing is that you're not going to be good at something unless you put time into it. But if I'm not good at something, I don't want to put the time into it because I'm not good, and I hate feeling like I'm bad at something. So when I would stream, there are like lulls and lows and highs um, for when I stream. There were times when I would get like 10 viewer averages and stuff like that. And while that's not really a lot, when you think about like the amount of people in a room like that, that's enough to fill like like that's enough for a small house party, right? And it's people that are coming there to listen specifically to what you're saying and do stuff like that. And I would feel really good because I could hold conversations like that, and I could be more energetic and more happy. But I think what happened is that when I would stream next time, or like stream a similar thing at the same time, and someone who was more popular than me and more entertaining than me would stream, I don't have any people watching me. It's kind of like well, I'm not good at this apparently, or at least I'm not good compared to my competition. I don't really see them as competition. I see them all as like good people who are doing their own thing, and people can spend time however they want. But when I have like a chat or on something like that, like Twitch, that's like really empty and all that stuff, it's just kind of intensely demotivating, because when no one's there, I don't feel that inclined to speak. When I play games, I play it in like a really slow, methodical, and analytical way, and that's not very fun to watch. And I always think that maybe I should play other games, but it feeds into itself where it's just like, okay, if I don't want to stream, then how am I going to play this game that I want to play? And if I stream this, why would anyone watch it, right? If people watch something I do, it's only because of the game I'm playing. I was playing, and if I'm playing something different, then whatever. I think this just turned into a general rant on insecurities. I suppose something that could help me is that if I had more hobbies and stuff like that, I guess like I just wanted to take this time to talk about anything at all. Something that can kind of get me talking without pausing very much and do something. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I could potentially talk about, but it ultimately just doesn't really pan out. I think I'm not. I think I'm running out of stuff to talk about, and I feel like I should just speak what comes to mind, because if I can fill up my thoughts without pausing or doing or waiting too long and stuff like that, then I can do that in the scenario when I'm streaming when no one's here. So I guess the reason I'm recording this is so that I can be more entertaining to myself and be someone that others can watch. But I also don't really want to be relying on other people's external validation. I want something that I can be happy with myself, because I think that that's how you have true happiness, right? Happiness is something where you yourself feel content, right? So ultimately, to me, what I want is just to feel happy on my own merits and not on the merits of other people. Which is strange, because there's parts of me that want to be an entertainer. I want to be a game developer as well. And that's a field which is entirely reliant on other people's things. When you create art, not really, it's kind of presumptuous of me to call it art. When you create like entertainment or like something with an artistic vision, something like that, it's impossible to not think about what other people will think about it, right? That's the entire point. When you create art, like it's so hard to create it for the sake of just creating it, or thinking about like what other people will think about it. If someone doesn't like it, or even if someone just doesn't express anything about it, then what am I going to do? Like that's not motivating at all. That kind of incentivizes something. When I would like throw out like test versions of my games and stuff, I always wanted to watch people play it and just say anything about it, because to me, saying something was better than saying nothing. If people vehemently hated me, I would still hate. I would probably spiral into depression. I can't say that otherwise. But if people vehemently like hated me, I think it'd be better than no opinion at all about me. Even though that like all the negative opinions would probably very easily get to me. That's the thing. So, as I think about opportunities that may never come, or my own insecurities. I think that that can be something that can hopefully be relatable to people. I don't know. I want to be someone that's seen as well spoken. And I think that the only way I can do that is to speak more and try to speak well. I'm totally rambling. That's the thing. I guess we'll go on to the next topic. And that is people who restate their points a lot. I don't. Some video essays or analysts I'd watch, like, I don't know, like The Right Opinion or something like that. Something that which kind of bores me or turns me off is when people like repeat their points a bunch, or it feels like they are. And I don't want to do that. I feel like I want to be able to swiftly move from topic to topic without sticking on something for too long. I feel like if I were to stick on a topic for a too short amount of time, it would be better than too long. But I think that I don't really want to talk about this next topic because I think that I talked for long enough about something. Maybe if I talk more, or ramble more about something, maybe it'll be about something more specific. I have some ideas, something that's really important to me. I don't know if people want to hear that stuff. I don't know if I'll upload this to like YouTube or something, or I'll just keep it as is. I might do that, even though that won't really accomplish anything. But yeah, thank you for listening, even if it's only me listening back to myself.